Is the hop-on, hop-off bus a good option when visiting Rome? Is it worth it? Is it fun? Is it a good experience? Well, in this video, I'm gonna let you know what I think.
Unbelievable!
One thing I'm always surprised is how many people I see on the hop-on, hop-off buses. Not only are there 5 lines, there are multiple buses of each, and every time I see them, especially in high season, they're loaded with people. So a lot of people either get fooled to go on these or really like them. I'll let you know my thoughts in a minute, but a lot of people do take these hop-on, hop-off buses for better or for worse.
Welcome aboard.
Today I'm getting ready to get onto the hop-on, hop-off bus in the city of Rome. The last time I went on one, and it's the only time I went on one, was in the city of Palermo, and to be honest, I did not like it. I thought it was slow, I didn't like the audio, everything about it I did not like, and here I am in Rome, I'm thinking maybe it's different. I have heard some positive things about the hop-on, off bus in Rome, so I thought, you know what, I should go try it, let you know what I think. And that's what this video is about. So here we go. I'll go out and get on the hop-on, hop-off bus and then let you know what I think.
Let's go.
I'm on the bus. From what I can tell, there are 5 different hop-on, hop-off buses to choose from. There's the big bus, the IO bus, the city tour bus, the Green Line bus, and the city sightseeing bus. You might be wondering, which of the 5 do I recommend? Well, I went on the big bus, but that's only because when I went to the bus stop, that was the first bus to arrive. All 5 of these buses stop at the same 8 stops. So I really don't think it matters which bus you go on. There might be different audio on each one, maybe a few other perks on each one, but whatever one's convenient. The big bus, I think, is the most advertised bus line in Rome, and I see it everywhere. And I was a little surprised to see the amount of people on each of the buses seemed pretty even, to be honest with you. I went on a day that wasn't super crowded, but I looked at the other buses and it seemed about equal. So, you know, it really doesn't matter, in my opinion, which bus. But again, I did not try them all. I just went on the big bus, and that's what I have to say about that. How to get tickets for the buses? Well, you can buy those online if you want to in advance. Each of the buses tend to have apps. Now the apps, depending on the bus, can be very good to not very good from what I read online. The big bus did seem to have a pretty robust app, and according to the users and the reviews for the app, most people seem to give that favorable ratings. As far as the other buses, I really didn't look too far into them. You'll need to do that yourself. Another way to get tickets for the buses is to just show up at one of the stops. There's always somebody there selling tickets. When the bus arrives, you can negotiate a price. Depending on how crowded it is, they may give you a discount. If you're there in peak season, the buses are full, you probably will have to pay full price. In my experience though, you can probably negotiate a pretty good deal right there on the spot if you want to. And yeah, if you don't, get those in advance if you'd like, online or through the app that you download on your phone. Like I mentioned, all 5 lines stop at the exact same spots. There are 8 stops throughout Rome. They're about 20 to 25 minutes apart, so it doesn't move super fast. It takes around 2.5 hours to make the whole loop around Rome. It's a one-way direction, not 2 ways. So that means if you get picked up like at the Colosseum and you want to go to the Vatican, it's going to take you probably 30 minutes. But if you're at the Vatican wanting to go to the Colosseum, you have to continue on. It's more like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Not super efficient, but at the same time, you do get a little bit to look at and listen to as you're on the bus. So for what that's worth, that's kind of the take I have on that. You might be wondering, how much does it cost to go on a hop-on, hop-off bus? Now, there are 5 different bus lines, so it does vary, but in general, it costs you around 20 to 30 euros for a 24-hour hop-on, hop-off experience. Sometimes there's specials, but that's in a ballpark what you're going to pay for a 24-hour access to the buses. Now, they do have 48-hour and 72-hour accesses, but, you know, I think 24 would be enough. But anyway, that's my opinion. There's more on that later.
Oh, yeah.
What I like most about the hop-on, hop-off bus? Well, actually, the first 20 minutes, it was kind of interesting. I was in that elevated view. I thought to myself, hey, this is going to be pretty pleasant. The day I chose was perfect weather, and it started out actually pretty enjoyable. If you're traveling to Rome in the near future, we do have a travel guide. Our travel guide will help you make the most of your visit to Rome. Our travel guide includes a 70+ page PDF, over 10 hours of videos, interactive maps where we show you our favorite restaurants, our favorite gelaterias, and so much more. Be sure to check it out. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video, along with a discount code where you can pick it all up for right around $20. After about 20 minutes on the bus, the novelty started wearing off, and I started thinking, when is this going to end? Well, I stayed on for all 8 stops. It took about 2.5 hours, maybe just over that, to make the full loop. And that was on a day with hardly any traffic. Very nice day, beautiful day. And I kept thinking to myself, if I was there on a very hot day, a very crowded day, it probably would not have been a great experience, because even though the weather-wise and the crowd-wise was ideal, I still found myself not really enjoying the hop-on, hop-off bus. I felt like it took too long to go from stop to stop, and I really was not seeing that many of Rome's iconic sites. Yes, on the bus I did see a few of them. Probably the best view you're going to get on the bus is of the Colosseum, and then you get glimpses of a lot of other things, but a lot of sites, including the Pantheon, Trevi Fountain, Piazza del Popolo, and so many more, you just will not see on the buses. What I like least about the hop-on, hop-off bus experience was probably it's not super efficient. It took quite a while to get from site to site. So getting on the metro would be much more efficient. And I guess that's probably my biggest thing, is that it just was not efficient. And there's better ways to see Rome, in my opinion. I'll talk about those in just a minute.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people think if they hop on the hop-on, hop-off bus, they don't have to do any planning when they go to Rome. They can just simply take the bus and it will take care of them, showing them all the sights of Rome. It's really just not that easy, unfortunately. It will require you to do a little bit of planning, figuring out what stops you want to get off at. And once you get off, you're going to need to know how to get to the different sites. So you're still going to have to put a little bit of work into getting on the hop-on, hop-off bus, in my opinion. Otherwise, you will probably be disappointed and you really won't see much of Rome. But on the other hand, if you do put in a little bit of work, getting on the hop-on, hop-off bus can be a pleasurable experience. Whoa! If you're set on trying the hop-on, hop-off bus, in my opinion, to make the most of it, what I would do is just pick 2 to 3 places where you're going to hop off. You're going to check out the sites around those 2 or 3 locations. Don't try to do all 8. It probably won't work well for you. There's just too much to see, and between waiting for buses and everything else, it just probably won't go real well. So I would say pick a couple, 2 or 3 key locations that you're going to hop off. And I have a couple of suggestions for you. This is what I would do and where I would hop off, and I'll share that with you right now. Once you're on the bus, the second stop, number 2 stop, depending on where you get at, it may be different, not your second stop, but the number 2 stop is Santa Maria Maggiore. That is a major basilica. Definitely worth jumping out, even if it's just to take a look at that basilica. But if I was to get out there, what I would probably do is I'd walk from there, head towards the Colosseum from there. It's not too far. That way you can walk through the Monti neighborhood, check out some of the sites along there. And then I'd hop back on the hop-on-off bus at stop number 3, which is the Colosseum stop. And then I would go from there. You're going to go to the Circus Maximus. Again, if you want to hop off there, you can. But the next stop I would definitely get off on is the Capitoline Hill that is right next to Theater Marcello. It's stop number 5. I've created a GPS little itinerary for you, and I'll show you that right now. When you get off the bus, the GPS then will direct you towards Capitoline Hill. But before we go up Capitoline Hill, we're going to go through a wonderful church, up some steep stairs, through a church, and on the back end there's an exit where we're going to then enter the Campidoglio that way, and then over to a great terrace where you can get a great view. From there, we're going to go to a brand new exhibit called the Colosso Constantine, and then we're going to get one of my favorite places, which is a terrific view of the Roman Forum. It's a view like none other. It really is spectacular. And then the GPS is then going to guide you back around the street over to the oldest surviving bridge in Rome, through the Jewish ghetto, past Theater Marcello, and back to the stop where we started, where you can then get back on the hop-on, hop-off bus. Personally, this is one of my favorite areas of Rome. There's so much to do, so close. Hope you enjoyed it. There are 3 more stops to go, including the Vatican, Spanish Steps, and Trevi Fountain. Now you just have to figure out which ones you want to hop off at. In conclusion, is the hop-on, hop-off bus the best way to see the sights of Rome? For some people, that may be yes, maybe that was your favorite thing you did while you were in Rome. For many people, I think it falls short of expectations. It did for me. I think there are many better ways, and the best way is using technology. The technology I'm talking about is GPS. Now you can use your phone to navigate Rome easier than ever before. In fact, speaking of that, I am creating a series of new videos where we're going to visit many of Rome's metro stations, and from there use the GPS to guide you to all the sites that are in that general area, along with restaurants, gelato, interesting facts. These videos should be spectacular, very useful. The first video will be available next week, and I'm not sure how many videos I'll have in all, 6, 7, 8, 10, I'm not real sure. But if that's something that interests you, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified when those are available. Again, we appreciate everybody who's watched our videos, that has helped support this channel. To the next one, alla prossima, ciao.
Me and my friends dance until we drop, and the good times don't stop.